Welcome to the Family Photography Marketing Podcast, where we dive into the world of marketing and help you take your business to the next level. I'm your host, Fiona, a marketing expert with 10 years of experience in the family photography industry, and in each episode of this podcast, I'll be sharing my insights and strategies for successful marketing to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of digital and traditional marketing techniques. So whether you're just starting out or looking to fine-tune your marketing approach, this podcast has something for you. So join me and let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Family Photographer Marketing Podcast. Today we are going to be talking about AI. And I know that a lot of what has come out about AI has been really overwhelming, but I want to give you a few ideas on how you can use AI in marketing and also how you can use AI to free up just more general time in your life. So if you feel as though you're not ready for AI or you feel really overwhelmed by it, just hang in. These are really, really simple, easy ways that you can be an early tech adopter. I always like to think of myself as an early adopter of new technologies, just mostly because I really don't like that feeling of not knowing what's going on. So I was quick to adopt using these simple AIs in my life, these simple AI strategies, and I just wanted to invite you all to try them out as well. Okay, so in sticking with the theme of this podcast, we'll start with marketing. Many people look at what like an AI chatbot can do, and they see the output that it can create, and the thought is like, oh, I'll just write a ton of basic blog posts and just flood them out into the world. More content, the better. No real focus on quality. And that is really not the best mindset for AI, mostly because what'll happen is you'll quickly get bored with a strategy like that. Creating boring content is boring. But you can use AI. The best way that I think that we can use AI is to use it as a bridge between inaction and motivation. So here's what I mean. Sometimes at the start of the process of writing helpful content for spring sessions, for example, so we'll use something that's timely, it can feel really overwhelming. And that feeling of overwhelm keeps us from even starting. So let's stick with spring, since it's the season that we just entered. And knowing the data of my own posts, I know that one of my best performing blog posts was a fairly specific blog post about fall footwear. So there had been a lot of education about what to wear for fall family sessions, but the footwear piece had been overlooked. So I wrote a blog post about it, and it really gained some traction because as families were reading the title, they realized that they maybe hadn't given as much thought into footwear as they had into the rest of their outfits. And we've all had families shown up where even at the session, you can tell mom is frustrated about the fact that she didn't really think about the fact that her son's shoes weren't necessarily going to go with the outfit. I've even had sessions where mom wants to take the shoes off in as many photos as possible. So it was definitely a pain point. I recognized it and created helpful content for it. So if we take that specificity and then we can for this example, I just inserted myself into it. And the content idea I came up with was spring styling tips for shorter moms. So you may not know, but I'm really short. A lot of people are surprised when they meet me. I'm only 4'11". So this means that I struggle sometimes even seeing myself in my own styling advice, because those long flowy dresses that I love when mom wears, I don't always find those that work well for myself. For me, I have to get ones that are like quarter length on normal people, and they fit me pretty well. So I have a kind of a different struggle when it comes to styling. So I thought, well, why don't I just see what ChatGPT, which is the AI bot that I was using for this. ChatGPT has both a free version and a paid version, and it's by OpenAI. So if you're looking around for it, that's where you'd find it. So I had this chatbot write a blog post for spring styling ideas for short women. The chatbot, this is the shocking thing when you first use these, is it wrote this blog post in about 13 seconds And I'm just going to summarize it for you. It wrote an intro and then 6 tips and a conclusion. So it said, spring is the perfect time to update your wardrobe with fresh and stylish pieces that will carry you through the season. Now, right off the bat, I'm not trying to style people for the season, right? I'm just trying to style them for the session. So when you look at the kind of content that AI creates, you're always trying to think not that you can just copy and paste it into a blog post, which I definitely do not recommend, but you can see how you can already switch up that intro to be much more specific to your client's struggle, right? Okay, so here are some perfect styles that work for petite women. And then it goes on to list out 6 styles. So again, it's not like I have to use all of these, but it really gives me a jumping off point. So it says high-waisted pants and skirts. They create the illusion of longer legs for shorter women. The next tip is A-line dresses. They're a great option because they flare out from the waist, creating a flattering feminine silhouette. Look at dresses with a defined waistline and a skirt that falls just above the knee. So super helpful, and we're 2 tips in. Second one is crop jackets and sweaters. They work well for short women because they hit at the waist, drawing the eye upward and creating the illusion of a longer torso. Just reading this out loud makes me feel like some sort of style guru. Like, I don't know that, but that makes me sound like an absolute expert on short people, and being a short person myself, I should know these things, but of course I don't. So I'm learning as I go. Next tip is monochromatic. Oh man, this is monochromatic outfit. So wearing an outfit from head to toe that is one color is a great way to create a streamlined, elongated silhouette. Stick to one color family and play with different shades and textures to add some interest. For example, you could wear a light blue blouse with dark blue pants and navy shoes. Like, hello, I would not have written that. This AI is out here writing this that I can then use in my own marketing to make my clients feel seen and heard, which is my whole goal. Pointed shoes is the next tip. Now, I am not a fan of pointed shoes because I feel like as a short person, they make me look like a little bit of like a Keebler elf, like I'm about to climb out of a tree and serve you a cookie. And so I don't love that, but it's recommended from this AI chatbot because it says that it helps visually lengthen the leg. So that's good to know. If there's people out there who love pointed shoes, go for it. It's going to make your leg look longer. Vertical stripes is the last tip. So it says our classic print to help elongate your silhouette. So look for dresses or shirts with vertical stripes and pair them with a solid colored bottom to balance out the pattern. So as you can see, as I'm reading this doesn't feel, because of the specificity in the way that I asked, these are very specific, helpful tips. This isn't generic, right? And I can even make it even more specific. If I have images in my own gallery of clients who've done these sorts of things, then I can pair this information with those images and I can really sound like the expert, and I can be, what's most important is helpful to the client. If I have a short person who is not feeling seen in my styling advice, then if I write something specifically for them, without the help of this chat bot, then in the beginning, what I'm doing is gathering all of this information from Google. So that's really the only step that this is doing for me. It's going out, it's like a big fishing net and finding all the best tips that everyone has written on the internet over the past however many years and just putting them here for me to see. So it's such a time saver in that way. So it lines the whole thing out with a very nice little conclusion. So the last line, I love it, says, with these tips in mind, you'll be ready to step out and style this spring. Like, it's so motivating. I love it. Okay, with AI doing the foundation work, I can then streamline this content to fit my messaging. Like I said, I can pull images, I can put in helpful links to shops that I love that are featuring these types of clothes, or even if I'm doing a partnership with a local boutique, we can do a whole thing on short women, for example. And then I can rewrite this in my voice. I can create short form video from this idea. So the more you use the AI chatbot, the more it kind of gets to know you in like a non-creepy way. At least it could be creepy. I'm trying not to think about it as creepy, but it does sort of try to emulate what you want it to write. You can ask it to write in certain styles. So you can ask it to write in a funny way, in a comforting way, and it'll kind of change up its writing style. But again, I want to reiterate, the goal here is not to just copy and paste this information into a blog post. So you can see how if you wanted to, you could use AI to write quite a few helpful seasonal blog posts that are very beneficial to your clients. Okay, so other ways you can use AI in marketing. You can use AI to help with SEO. SEO is one of those marketing topics that feels like Mount Everest in terms of information. Like it almost feels like a secret society that you can't get in because you don't have any idea what the hell anybody's talking about. So ChatGPT can kind of help break down SEO strategy in a way that is much more manageable. So as you get into learning about SEO, you'll learn about the fact that you need H1 tags in your blog posts. So I had ChatGPT write some AI tag ideas from my top Google keyword, and it gave me 10 great ones. So again, now I'm not spinning my wheels guessing. It can just take that feeling of overwhelm away and help me take the next step towards better SEO. It can also help you come up with description tags, which are highly helpful within the SEO world. There's a separate AI company than ChatGPT called Storylab Ai, and it has an idea generator based on your keywords. So that's pretty cool and helpful if you're really trying to get your blog posts to rank. You can lean on AI in these ways. So here's a note of caution with AI. If you feel yourself freezing up over the fear of what AI could mean for the future photography, I would just suggest that you not worry right now. It's really not advanced enough to be any sort of threat. I saw a video just today about this guy getting AI headshots from an AI head company. Now there's AI heads, an AI headshot company. So he sent them like 200 images of his face, and then they were able to put together like pictures of him doing things he's never done, like standing in a white room wearing a beanie. And sure, there were some good ones that came out, but a lot of them had that kind of uncanny valley look where he doesn't quite look human, like you can tell that it's generated. Also, there's this idea of like truthfulness, right? Like he wasn't really in that room. He didn't really do those things. He never went to that park. So there's going to be people who, no matter what, are going to be very uncomfortable with that level of non-truth that comes out of those types of images. And then there's going to be people who adopt them and get their headshots, and those people were never your clients anyway. So I just really want to caution. I see this in Facebook groups daily. People really stressed out and worrying about it. And my thought would be, don't worry just yet. If you're a huge conglomerate headshot company that pumps out headshots for big companies where they can all have the same sort of look, then yes, maybe those companies will eventually be leaning more on AI. It's nothing to worry about right now. So that would be my advice. Don't let it worry you. Okay, right now we can just use it, as many of us, especially family photographers, don't have the money or time or whatever to hire and train an assistant. So there are ways that AI can help us free up time to work on our business. So these are some ideas of how AI can help you free up your personal time. Okay, so basic ChatGPT, which is the OpenAI chatbot that I like, can give you meal plans for your whole week based on the types of foods that you like, dietary restrictions, and what you have in your pantry. Paid ChatGPT, and the newest version that just came out, you can take a photo of your fridge and the contents inside, and it'll design a meal plan from that. So that can be used to save you time that then you can use to put back into your business. If you find yourself spinning your wheels with meal planning and spending too much time worrying about it, could you lean on AI to do it for you, get it done? It may not be perfect. You may have to do a few tweaks, but a few tweaks is a lot easier than starting from scratch. So if you're stuck in indecision, just ask AI. So it can also help you do things like write intros to client emails. So if you have clients that have certain objections, then you can have ChatGPT write emails addressing those objections, save them, and then you can just send them out without overthinking your response. AI helped me write this. It wrote the entire intro for this podcast. Back when I started it in January, I was again stuck in exactly what I should say, how I should say it, how long it should be. There was almost too much information on Google about the correct formatting for a podcast intro. So I asked ChatGPT. I actually loved the very first answer it gave me. I recorded it and I was able to move on to the next step of the podcast process instead of staying stuck in the indecision of exactly the perfect intro. So that can be the same if you're running into issues like that, where you're just on the other side of the task out of indecision, whether it be a personal task or a marketing task, ask AI. Okay, so I'm not sure I should say this. Maybe I'll get in trouble. But I 1000% use AI to help me help my kid with her math homework. I suck at math. It's always been true. I spent my entire childhood in and out of numerous tutoring offices and these poor people who are trying to help me. I don't know what it is about my brain, but math is really hard. So I found myself in a little bit of my own personal hell over the past 2 years, being asked to help a stressed out child with math homework that I didn't understand. So when I ask AI to help me do math homework help, it's not that I'm giving her the answer. I say, explain to me how you solve this. And then I can say, explain it to me in 5 different ways. And AI will. So it's almost like my math tutor so that I can tutor my kid. So that frees up a lot of stress for me, because before I had that tool, I was looking at random YouTube videos and I felt a lot of stress. And now I know that I can lean on this tool to help me help her, which is really, really nice. AI can also give you fun ideas of crafts to do with your kids. It can write out a simple exercise plan. If you're finding yourself feeling like you want to work out, but you don't know what to do, again, it's that jumping point from indecision to action, right? It's that stepping stone. And that's how I think about it. And since many of us are solo, semi-lonely entrepreneurs out here in the world with no one having a second eye on our business, we can use this AI to be almost like someone who is helping us get ideas, get from one place to the next. So my advice is to play around with it. It's not going to steal your job, but it can help you free up precious time. So I'll be sharing more AI ideas on my Instagram this week. So feel free to follow along over there. My Instagram name is Fiona Margot. And yes, my advice would be to just play, see what you come up with. If you come up with something cool, definitely share it. I love to see what people come up with. I think it's amazing that it can write out such detailed answers and be so helpful when we give it enough information to do so. All right, I will see you guys next week.